What's up, guys? As we are recording this today, we have officially been in Mexico for 1 month. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit about so far our most favorite things about Mexico and our least favorite things about Mexico.
We've made a list of about the top 5 or 6 things that we really love about Mexico, and the top 5 or 6 things list that we don't care too much about Mexico. And they're in no particular order. It's not a top 10 list of something's going to come into first place or not. It's just something that we sat down together and we both made a list and kind of compared it, and then came together on terms of what we thought was the most important thing to talk about to you guys today. And so one of the things that made both of our lists was people. People. Everywhere we have been in Mexico, we have experienced nothing but warm, friendly smiles and helpfulness from people. Everywhere we go, people are so prepared to want to help us, to interact with us.
Obviously, we have a language barrier. We don't speak great Spanish, and most people where we're at don't speak English at all. And people have been really willing to help us figure out what it is we're trying to order at a restaurant or the things we're trying to find at a store. We've really encountered just friendliness and helpfulness from people. And when we were getting ready to come here, a lot of people were like, oh, it's not safe, you want to be careful. And we have felt nothing but safety since we have been here. There has never been a time that I can think of that I felt uncomfortable at all.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show that the people here are just very kind, loving, and friendly and welcoming.
Yeah, it comes to find out, like when we were in Tampico, we had no idea, but we did some Google searching, and they were describing Tampico as one of the most dangerous cities in Mexico. And I got to tell you, we weren't there that long, but we never saw anything like that. And we were staying in a neighborhood, just a regular local neighborhood, and we walked everywhere. And again, people were nothing but friendly and welcoming to us. I never felt at any time that I was in a place I shouldn't be.
We've met several people just on the streets, some who know a little bit of English and who don't want to come up and talk to us and just get to know us, especially when we're out with Layla. People are really interested in her, wanting to know more about her. And there is a lady and her daughter that are always hanging out in the square near our apartment, and we see her almost every evening when we go out to walk Layla. And she has offered to take us out to their property and all these things. And so, I think people see us and they're like, well, they're obviously not from here. So people are interested in that. And the people who do speak English, they want to show that they know English, and they want to get to know us. And it's just been really cool to just meet random strangers along the way.
Yeah, we also, there's an Asian food restaurant here where we're at. I think it's the only one really that we know of. And we've been there a few times now, and we've got to meet the owner. And actually, we met the owner before we even knew that they own this restaurant we've been going to. And they own a big boat out here, because obviously we're right by the beach, and they invited us to go out on their boat anytime we wanted to. It's just stuff like that happens to us. And again, people are just so friendly with us.
All right, so the second thing on our list is obviously food.
Oh, yeah.
We have not had a bad meal since we have been here. Every restaurant sells pretty much the same thing, but they all have their unique spin on it.
Yeah.
And so we found our favorite empanadas, and our favorite place to have breakfast, and our favorite place to have tacos. Even though it might be the same thing as the person next door, it still just has a little bit of a different flair to it.
Absolutely. Another thing that it's kind of a myth that Mexican food on its own is spicy. It's not really. It's only spicy when we put the hot sauce on it. And here, everything is about the habanero, right? So it's a very traditional thing that whenever you order anything, whether it's at just tacos on the street or whatever, they always have several salsas set up. and usually level degrees of heat. They always have some fresh like cabbage and radishes and cilantro and things like an onion to put onto your tacos or on top of whatever you ordered. And it's not really it's very flavorful, and they have a lot of depth to their dishes here, because they have such a variety of peppers and they make these amazing blends, and I can't tell you everything that goes on within the cooking, but it's so good. But again, it's not really spicy until you make it spicy, and Dawn and I happen to love it. If my top of my bald ass head isn't sweating, it's not hot enough for me. So I'm gonna say something I know that's gonna sound stupid, and y'all are gonna go, well, no shit, Greg. But here's the thing. There's something about the tortillas here that are just different, right? Even when we get back home in the States and you find a place that has the homemade, back there pressing out a tortilla by hand, and they're delicious, but there's just something going on down here that's different. You would think that with all the the tortillas and things like the masa being used in so much cooking that it would be so like heavy and thick, and it's not. It's something about the way they do it that they become very light and very airy, and they're just so delicious. Like, you can go out and have 2 or 3 tacos and you don't feel weighted down from it, because there's just something about the tortilla, and it's just so good.
So in addition to just the food that we find in the restaurants, a couple things that we have really been enjoying probably a little too much of is the bread here. They have so many little shops where you have different kinds of sweet breads and little pastries and things like that, and we are definitely partaking way too much in that, but it is so good you can't not do it, and I feel like we're making up for it with all the walking we're doing.
Sure,
so.
That's what it is, baby. Yeah, the bakeries around here, they're everywhere, and for y'all that know me, know what a sweet tooth I have, and oh my God, my inner crackhead comes out when I'm around all this stuff. So yeah, obviously we're having a great experience with the food. That's one of the reasons that we came to Mexico in the first place, right? God, who doesn't love this stuff? And and that's another thing, as we continue to travel and explore different regions and other states of the country, we're going to get different twists on dishes. Especially when we get to the Yucatan, which we're really excited about, is getting a lot of traditional Mayan cuisine, which I really don't know anything about. But we've watched enough videos from other vloggers that we really admire, and they've been down through there and have had made videos about the food down there and the differences. And so we're pretty excited about that.
And last but not least, I have found these little peanut candy things, and they are so freaking delicious. It's probably just chopped up peanuts and sugar, but it's so freaking good, because as we've said in another one of our videos, we're not finding peanut butter here, so I'm getting my fix with these little candies, and I usually buy like 5 or 6 of them at a time, and they're gone in like 2 days. They're so freaking good.
So one of the things that Dawn and I are really enjoying is the lifestyle here, right? It seems that everything is just a very slow-paced, chill, laid-back attitude about everything. We're spending time in all these little neighborhoods, and everybody is just slow moving. No one's in a big hurry, and it just reflects in the atmosphere and the mood that we receive from people. Right? Because we talked about all these smiles and warm greetings that we get from everybody. It's just because everybody has time for that. Everybody's making time to spend time with their family and really see what's important to them.
And then you have the random vehicles that are shouting something.
Yeah, we have to capture this.
And we have no idea what they're saying, but this happens very frequently.
Is this going to go on the blooper reel?
Le compramos lavadoras, protecciones, motores, calentadores de agua. Le estamos comprando los refrigeradores viejos.
That is a constant occurrence in Mexico. Random vehicles with big giant speakers. I don't know if they're selling something. I don't know if they're talking about propaganda. We have no idea what's going on with it. But it's just constant, and it's hilarious to us. All right, now back to the video.
Along with the lifestyle here, at least for us, the cost of living is very advantageous. We go out to eat, and a lot of times we pay the equivalent of like $8 for dinner. So that compared to usually upwards of $20, $25 when we were in the US. So definitely the cost of living is an advantage. We go to the grocery store, we spend maybe $15, $20. We're used to a trip to H-E-B would cost us $200, which obviously we're not cooking as much here as we did back home. We're eating out quite a lot, but still we have cut our budget about in half.
Yeah, for sure. You know, even the $8 dinners or lunches or whatever, that's still can be on the upper end. If an individual really wanted to come down here and pinch pennies, you could really go a lot less. You know, we find there's this one place. It's kind of like a little food truck that we go to, and wonderful people. You know, we have breakfast for $3 for the both of us, and you're talking. Well, we had 7 tacos between the two of us yesterday, and we spent just a little over $3. That was a pretty good deal there, and they were delicious.
And as we've mentioned in other videos, we pretty much walk everywhere we go, which is really cool. Everything we need is in the neighborhood. We walk a couple of blocks and we've got the fruit and vegetable stand. We walk another couple of blocks and we have a full-on grocery store. We go the other direction and we can find restaurants and ice cream, and
Ice cream.
spent too much time at the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
But we really don't need our car. We're lucky we have it because we're traveling from place to place. But once we get there, we just park that thing and we walk everywhere. So we're quickly getting a tan and getting in a little bit of fitness as we go through our day.
Yeah, I love the walk because you get to see so much more and actually pick up the detail and the neighborhoods and the little shops and restaurants and you know, Don and I have done extensive traveling separately and together, and that's one of the things that we've always done is you grab a backpack, put a couple waters in it, get some money in your pocket, and just take off walking and see what comes up. I know some people might think that sounds terrifying, but it's not. I can remember landing in Hanoi, Vietnam, with zero plan on what I was going to do, had no idea where I was, and I literally put my backpack on, grabbed some waters, and I just took off walking in a complete strange city, a stranger in a strange land, and man, what a cool experiences you have from that. It's just so much fun. That's part of the lifestyle as well, is the walking everywhere. You know, a lot of people are just walking or riding bikes, and it's such a slow pace, and we love it. And last but not least,
The weather. As you can see, we're on the beach. It is sunny. It is probably low 80s today?
Mid-80s.
Mid-80s?
Don't shortchange it. Mid-80s.
We are sunburned, we are sweating, and we are loving every minute of it.
Yeah, we're living, where we're staying right now is probably, and it all depends, it takes about 5 minutes to walk to the beach, 5 to 10 minutes, but we don't get in a hurry. And this is what we come to. We've been coming down here every day, usually in the morning and then in the afternoon. Yeah, you know, we haven't, I think it's rained one day on us since we've been in Mexico. And for the most part, this is what we get. And you know, we talked about this early on in one of our very first videos, is that we both absolutely hate the cold, and this is where we want to live. We love the heat, the tropical climate, and the beach. I mean, look at this. We're still in the Gulf side right now. We haven't made it around the tip of the Yucatan Peninsula to get to the Caribbean yet, and that's where our final goal is to be. But we can still enjoy the beautiful Gulf of Mexico as well. Yeah, the weather, hot all the time, and that's what we want, hot and sunny. I want to live like I am right now. You can't see it, but I'm wearing flip-flops.
The coldest day we've had here was in the low 60s, and that was when our dear friends in Texas and Louisiana were unfortunately experiencing like 1 or 2 degrees weather. How crazy is that? So we can't say that we're sad that we missed the snowpocalypse of 2021, but do know it was colder here for us.
Yeah,
so,
I had to wear a long sleeve with my shorts. What else?
So the first thing that we want to talk about that has been an adjustment, and I do want to say that all these things that we're talking about are dislikes, are adjustments, right? It's something that's something that we're not used to, and we just have to make an adjustment for ourselves in these situations. One of them being showers, hot water, water pressure has been something we've had to adjust to. In one of our Airbnbs, the water pressure was so bad, I literally had to get a cup and hold it up to the shower head and let the cup fill with water and then pour it over my head to get the shampoo out, because it was going to take me 3 hours to take my shower if I didn't.
Yeah, so again, we're not, the things we're going to talk about disliking, these are not a slur on Mexico in any way. This is just, you know, again, we're from the States, so we're used to a certain lifestyle and certain creature comforts. You get in another country, it's just what to be expected. And like Don said, water pressure and hot water are not always a guarantee. I've watched other vloggers talk about this as well. And it's just something, it can be a crapshoot. You never know what you're going to get. You know, and if you're getting like us, we've hopped B&B several times. You know, one might be just amazing, and then the next one just like, oh my God, I don't know what we're going to do. But we managed to get through it. So one of the things is that, you know, not all houses have like a pump that's feeding water into the house. What they have are these holding tanks on the roof of all the housing. And they have a city pump that fills this tank, and then the water from this tank is what feeds the house, and it's usually just gravity fed. So there's no pump with a lot of pressure behind it. It's just what's coming down the line, and the water lines are like tiny, so you're not going to get any volume out of it as it is. So this is something that we're learning to adjust, and you know, just as what's to be expected. On a side note, when it comes to the water pressure and hot water, something that we've learned, which I have no experience with till now, is they have something called it's like hot water on demand. They don't have some places do, some places don't, like a big traditional hot water heater tank, you know, with, you know, a certain amount of gallons of water or liters on standby ready to go. What they have is a unit literally into the shower with you, and it's not very big. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, this is all the hot water we're gonna get. But what is happening is when you turn it on, it's an endless supply of hot water. So it's on demand. You don't have to worry about a tank going empty or getting cold on you. So that's been a really cool experience as well.
Yeah, there's on the shower head, there are little units inside there, little heating coils. So the water fills up in those shower heads, it gets hot from the heating coils, and then it comes down out of the shower. So, you know, the water just keeps coming. Like, you can be in the shower for an hour with hot water if you want.
Yeah, it takes me a while to do my hair.
So another thing we have been getting adjusted to here is a lack of the conveniences that we're used to in the US, such as finding a variety of foods in restaurants. I mean, obviously we're in Mexico, we're getting a lot of Mexican food, so it's far and few between, at least in the cities that we've been in so far, to find much outside of that.
Yeah, you know, like we said before, and also in the previous videos, you know, certain foods, certain you know, certain brands that we get used to, we're not really finding them here. And when we do find some things, they're really expensive. Like things that you could walk into your local grocery store back in the States or Walmart or whatever, and it's $1 or something. And here, it can be really expensive. You know, again, but we haven't made it down to the big, you know, tourist areas where they're catering to Westerners. So I'm sure there's going to be so much more variety, so much more options, and all that. But again, like we are in, we are in little neighborhoods with, you know, the real deal Mexican lifestyle, and so they're not bringing in stuff for these people. It's for them.
Yep. So things like toiletries. I was looking for razor blades the other day, and something I'm used to getting pretty easily. They don't have a whole lot of selection here, and when they do, they're really expensive. It's like $1.50 at least for a razor blade, whether it's a replaceable cartridge or a single-use disposable razor. They're very pricey, and little things like shampoo, the stuff I would normally find in the US is more expensive, and I've been unable to get my eyebrows done, so that's a little vanity thing that
Yeah.
Hopefully one day I'll find me a nice little salon that can hook up my eyebrows.
I offered to do them for her, but she wouldn't let me, considering I have no idea what I'm doing. Hey guys, so we're gonna save the best for last on things that we dislike about Mexico. And again, it has nothing to do with Mexico, it's about us. And we want to talk about how much we miss friends and family. And I have to do a little shout out right now, because as we were literally making this video this afternoon, my buddy Justin Bird texted me, and we chatted for a minute, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, we're actually shooting our next video." And he's like, "Oh man, give me a shout out." So Justin, for you, brother, this is, I want to say hello, and to your way better half, Lindsay. We love you guys and we miss you. But all bullshit aside, the thing that we're noticing is that, you know, we're missing our friends and family dearly. I know for me personally, you know, we made a video about our CrossFit family. I've been really missing my CrossFit community back home, and a lot of the people that I spent a lot of time with down there, working out with. I'm actually calling my parents more frequently than I have in a very long time, because they want to know what's going on, right? You know, their parents, they love us, and they're always going to worry. My mother's always going to worry about me to some degree, and so I've actually been, you know, reaching out to her way more often than I have been. Let this guy get by. What about you, babe?
Absolutely. I have been using Zoom and FaceTime and things like that a lot more often to stay in contact with the people that I'm not able to see as often. You know, before we could hop in the car and drive a few hours to see our parents, and that's not available now. So every couple days I video call my mom, and we're using Zoom a lot for other people in our lives, and trying to stay connected, and but it just doesn't make up for the day-to-day contact and the ability to, you know, go see someone, give a hug, and things like that. So of course we made this decision. We made this decision to live life abroad, and that is one of the downsides of that lifestyle, is that we are pretty much the only people that we know. Yeah.
So shout out to mom and dad. Love you, miss you. We're safe and we're good. And to all my friends back home, you know, miss you guys. And some of you need to get your asses down here and come visit us. So that's just all there is to it.
Exactly. My mom told me today she got her passport in the mail.
Yes.
So it's time to book your flight.
Leanne and Chris, a good friend of ours from back in Belton, CrossFit Syntax. Love you guys. Chris's birthday's coming up in April, and we're planning on trying to get them down here, come visit us, and get Leanne on her first scuba trip. So we're excited about that. Gonna get her ass in the water. You'll love it. And so this is our 1 month to the day in Mexico, giving you a little update and report on what our life looks like. And so far so good. We feel like we've made a really good decision to do this. And we're just having a lot of fun and having some great experiences. So until next time, guys, be sure and hit that like button, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Comments, questions, or concerns are always good, right? And we'll be happy to get back to you on that. So much love and peace from Mexico, guys. Oh, we're still filming? Shit. Ooh, big bad TV. I'm just scare you.
Am I saying it or are you saying it?
And last but not least,
The weather.
And go.
Oh, am I talking?
Yes.